Hey, it's Declan Ryan from whoisdeclanryan.com, and now what I got out of this second chapter, which is really fascinating. As I said, I'm reading the book for the third time, and it's amazing what you pick up once you've actually gone through something, and it's different perspectives than what you've got previously. So there's 5 things that I got out of this chapter, really. It starts off with a wonderful title, How to Access Your Automatic Success Mechanism. Wow, wouldn't we all love to know that? So the 5 main things are the success instinct, the role of imagination in the accomplishment of any real worthwhile goals, and he cites a couple of examples. The servo mechanism, and goes into 2 different types of servo mechanisms, which are really, really important, and then accessing information in which may not be something that you recall having, accessing information outside of yourself, which, to be fair, Napoleon Hill also commented on as well, so there's a lot to be said for this. So basically, in the success instinct, he just briefly touches on the idea that everybody is born with a goal-seeking mechanism. Now, in animals, that is just the mechanism to procreate and to survive. Now, humans, we've got a bit of a different agenda as far as that goes, because we've got imagination, because we've got freedom of thought. We want to do a little bit more with our lives. So the definition of living for us is not just finding the next morsel to eat and procreating the species. We want to express, we want to write, we want to sing, we want to explore, and we want to excel. And those are all things that the human brain can do very, very well. It all comes down to, well, not all, but a lot of it comes down to imagination. Now, imagination is at the root of absolutely everything. Something starts as an idea, you put it into your mind, you make a decision to actually pursue that, you mix that with imagination, you set your goal, and you know, you set sail, really. Unfortunately, that all has to pass through the filter of the self-image. And if the self-image is incongruent with, because of your programming, with what you're trying to achieve, then you may well not get to your target. So it's in fact, you probably won't. So you have to be in a position to be able to modify your self-image in order for all these things to go ahead. Now, in terms of the examples he gives of imagination, they're really, some of them are quite detailed. He quotes Disney and how purely that it's one of the few businesses which has got 100% child to adult retention rate. Now, I'm not going to question Maltz's figures on that. I think it's probably, if it's not 100%, it's pretty damn close to there. Another example he quotes on how Starbucks founder Howard Schultz was really taken by the whole atmosphere, an experience of sidewalk cafes where people just chill out and just have a cup of coffee, and the whole cafe culture, the whole experience, the whole aroma, the whole sights and sounds of espresso bars in Italy. And he thought, well, if it stimulates his imagination, it will probably stimulate others. And he brought that idea over to the States, and using the exact same formula, including the music, including the aromas, including everything to create the same kind of experience that he experienced in Italy. And you know what? He made a massive success out of it. He created that into a chain, and Starbucks is very much a huge success. A similar thing he quotes in the laying out of the Blue Bayou restaurant in Disneyland. Now, all of this was a product of the most intense imagination, thinking exactly how to recreate that feeling for everybody else. Imagination has been behind the foundation of all the greatest companies. You only have to read through any of Napoleon Hill's books, and you'll see the importance of that. Now, from there, he also introduces us to the 2 different kinds of servo mechanism. Now, there are 2 types, really. One is a target that is known, and the objective of the server mechanism is to reach it. So you've got a target and you're focused on to actually reach that target, and the other one is where the target is not known and the objective is to find it. Similar in way to a search engine like we used to use today. And the most surprising, not surprising, the most illustrative way of putting that forward is using the example of a baby when it's learning how to find something. It's learning how to use its muscles. It uses it through experimentation. It builds up a database, a data bank of all movements successfully created. So, for example, it will zigzag when it's trying to pick up a pencil, but eventually, through repetition of that movement, it will be able to do that without even thinking about it. And this is how so many things with us become automatic. And this is very much pointing towards the automatic success mechanism. In other words, willpower alone will not get you to a certain goal. Willpower, in fact, can very often hamper you to a certain goal. And you must be able to relax sufficiently for your automatic mechanism to kick in. Because if you're constantly pushing and you're constantly trying to get to your goal, then it's going to actually hamper your ability to achieve that. And the important thing is you have to have confidence. I think this is where a lot of people will find most difficulty. You have to have confidence that your automatic success mechanism will work. Worrying about going into a venture, worrying as to whether your automatic success mechanism will kick in or not, will probably hamper its progress similarly. And so at the end of this chapter, he actually gives a mental exercise which is so incredibly useful. It consists of 5 things: aim, trust, relax, learn, do. And in short, that just means you aim, you've got to select the target, you've got to steer towards it. Trust, you've got to trust that your automatic success mechanism will find it. You've got to think with the end in mind, you've got to trust that that's actually going to work, and just the next step is relax. So you've got to relax and not be all tense that your automatic success mechanism is going to get there. You've got to relax that that is going to do its job just like it should do. Learn. That means you're picking up things as you go along. You mustn't be afraid to make mistakes. You mustn't be afraid to take action through fear of making mistakes, bearing in mind that the target-seeking missile course corrects through negative feedback all the way to its target. So you mustn't be afraid to learn, and most importantly, do. Don't worry about, again, whether this is going to work or not. Once you start doing, other things will come into place that you might not have seen before. You put yourself in action, and then other resources will come into play as you're taking action, which won't come into play unless you've taken action. So that's basically what I got out of chapter 2, and I'm really looking forward to chapter 3. Obviously there's I could have made this video an awful lot longer because there's so much information packed into it, but if you found this of value, then please look forward and watch for my chapter 3, and subscribe to my channel if you found it really great, and give me some comments. I always love to hear back from people. In the meantime, make it a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.